You good?
Yep.
Okay. So, in my humble opinion, here's my thoughts on the whole Momo controversy. In my humble opinion, first and foremost, it is if someone is dumb enough to listen to what a video is saying and carry out these acts. First of all, if it's a kid, either they're too young to understand their consequences, or if they're old enough to understand the consequences. In both cases, it's the responsibility of the parents to make sure, first off, if it's a young kid who doesn't understand the consequences of turning all the gas on overnight and, letting everybody suffocate to death, if they're too young, what the hell are the parents doing letting these kids watch these videos? If your kid's that young, you should be supervising everything that they're watching on YouTube, because everybody knows YouTube is full of little rabbit holes that you can go down and you don't ever know where you're going to wind up. Now, secondly, if the kid's old enough, they should know better than to leave the gas on overnight and suffocate everybody. They should. And if they don't, then there's probably some history of mental illness with this kid. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but again, this is on the parents. If your kid is suffering from mental illness, then when he does something that is conducive with him suffering from this mental illness, you can't blame this on a YouTube video. That kid had a problem to begin with in the first place. And this seems to be the thing that a lot of people, when something happens or when their kid does something crazy, they try to blame it on external sources and blame it on extra things, when in actuality, it's really your responsibility. You really have to, I know parenting is a tough job. I'm a parent myself, but you really have to take responsibility for what your kids are doing or not doing, So, and also the whole mental health thing is another thing that I think gets slid under the rug that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Like when there's a school shooting or something along those lines, when somebody kills somebody, all of a sudden everybody wants to get rid of guns. But it's like, in actuality, it's like 9 times out of 10, the person has mental illness. And this is something that I think we're not nearly discussing enough and too often gets swept under the rug. And mental illness is such an important subject that we should all be concerned about. Our own mental illness, even if you're not out, it's kind of like Chris Rock said, whatever happened to crazy, So, yeah, so that's just my humble opinion about the whole Momo scandal right now. So, if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, the discussion always goes down in the comments. So don't be afraid to leave your comment below. What do you guys think about the Momo controversy? Do you think the parents are right in blaming YouTube and trying to ban whoever's promoting these videos? Or do you think it should be up to the parents to make sure what their kids are watching and, discuss it with their kids to make sure their kids aren't doing crazy shit? What do you think?